Hello, welcome to Bro Baking. It's time to try a new recipe because I'm going to visit people, so I'm making them something, and it's an excuse to try more snacks. I think I've mentioned it before, I personally love anything to do with cheesecake, so I'm making chunky cheesecake brownies, which sounds gross, but it's gonna be good. At least I think so. So I'll essentially, instead of listing all the ingredients at the beginning, list the ingredients while I'm doing them. That way I don't have to repeat myself, because I always do. Now what's interesting about this particular recipe is that it's layered. It pretty much goes brownie, cheesecake stuff, and brownie on the bottom. So it's like sandwiched together. It's kind of like an ice cream sandwich, but it's not ice cream. So the first portion of the recipe and the directions calls to make the cream cheese portion of it first and then the brownie stuff. So that is what I'm doing. So of course, to make this like a cheesecake cream cheese recipe, you need 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. I kind of left this out a little bit beforehand so it's easy to mix. It's going to be easy to mix either way, but when you leave stuff like butter and cream cheese out like a little bit, obviously not for hours, it makes it easier to mix, so I did that. So you put the cream cheese in the bowl at some point. I was not watching, we're okay. And then next with the cream cheese, you'll need 1/4 a cup of white sugar. Wee. And then you'll need 1 egg. There we go. Next, you're gonna wanna kind of combine the egg, cream cheese, and the sugar together for a little bit. And then the last thing you'll need for the cream cheese portion is to add in 1 cup of chocolate chips. This specifically calls for like semi-sweet, so if you wanna do a different one, I guess you could, but I'm just gonna try it out. So after stirring it for a little bit, it's gonna kind of look like, I don't know, like potato salad or something, but then you can just set this aside to work on the actual like brownie portion. So I personally am a little concerned, but according to the recipe, instead of using an actual like brownie mix, you're gonna melt chocolate chips with butter to kind of make the chocolatey portion. So to start this process, you'll once again need 1 cup of chocolate chips. And then for the butter portion, you'll need 1/4 a cup of butter. Which when you have the butter and the chocolate chips combined, the recipe in the website has it to where you boil water and just have it sit until it melts, but it also does give the option to put it in the microwave, which is what I'm doing. Microwave be like, brrr. It looked like this. It looked like pudding. And I'm about to use that melted chocolate and butter mixture, but I'm gonna kind of do more parts of the actual like brownie batter first before adding that. Which this particular recipe is kind of interesting because sometimes it brings back ingredients, so if you think you're done with something, you're probably not. Speaking of which, you're gonna be using the white sugar again, and it's 1/2 a cup. Whee! And then it's 2 eggs. Wow. 2/3 a cup of all-purpose flour. This ingredient is new to the recipe, but 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And then finally 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients together first and then add in the melted chocolate chips. Here comes the chocolate. Woo. So now that both portions of the recipe are pretty much ready to go, I'm going to be putting them into this like 8x9 pan. But basically what you're going to want to do is kind of put a bottom brownie layer as much as you think covers it, and then you're going to put the cream cheese stuff in the middle and then top it off at the top. That makes sense, I think. So you know, you can kind of test it out and kind of smooth it in the pan to make sure there's enough batter in it, you know? So I'm going to let this kind of level out, I guess. Now it's time for the cheesecake stuff, which honestly, it looks like it's gonna kind of overwhelm the brownie stuff, but this is my first time trying the recipe, so I don't know. Okay, I got it. Kind of looks like this. And then it's just the top layer of the brownie stuff. And I already kind of did it by smoothing out the top layer, but it says to make it kind of look like a marble kind of effect with the brownies, you can kind of take a knife and just swoop-de-whoop, I don't know, on the top to kind of make it wavy. I'm just trying it out. Trial and error, bro. You can't get better until you try. So mine kind of looks like a mess, but I think that's kind of how it's supposed to look anyways. So once you have everything actually in the pan, you're gonna turn on the oven to 350 and cook this for about 25 to 30 minutes. Apparently they say let the top get a little like, not crispy, but to where it's like flaky and to where it's kind of coming off the edges of the pan. So about 30 minutes, I guess. So it's been a bit longer than 30 minutes. I did take these out at 30 minutes, but I also had to go do something right after, so I apologize for the outfit change. But hopefully these taste good. And unlike some of my recent baking and cooking videos, I'm actually going to try this because I'm going to share it with people and I want to make sure that it's edible. Also, I'm a little worried because when I got them out of the oven initially, they were very doughy, or at least it seems like it, at least in the middle, but I have let them cool for quite a long time. So I'm hoping that's not the case. If it is, oh well. I mean, if it doesn't crumble apart, that's like fine. I just don't need it to, I don't know, it's just very much so gooey. But maybe that's just how it's supposed to be, I don't know. Wow. I'll show you visual. So on the top, you can clearly see that it's brownie consistency. On the bottom, not so much. In terms of the taste, it's literally like it tastes like brownies. It's just super-de-duper. Oh my gosh, you can even make it move. It's just not cooked. So maybe the answer really is, if you're trying this, just to cook it a bit longer. I don't know how much longer because the top is already brownie consistency. Like, it does not taste bad in any way. It honestly also looks cool because the cheesecake stuff in the middle, but in terms of it actually turning out the way I thought it would, did not happen. But either way, I tried it. It turned out okay. Like, I get the vision. I just didn't completely follow it, maybe. If you end up trying this out, let me know how it goes, because maybe yours just magically turns out better. I don't know. But that was another Bruh Baking. Feel free to suggest other recipes and stuff. I have a few lined up that I may try. As always, if you would like your username on my chef apron or chef hat, let me know, because I'll do that at no expense to you other than just letting me know. But that's it. So, thank you for watching. Have a good night.